Hello everyone, my name is Kasaya and I'm a tarot reader and a channeler. If you have found yourself here, I might have some messages for you. But if they do not fit, do not force it. Take only what resonates and leave the rest. Okay. All right. I have an inspired message today. And what I mean by inspired message, whenever I say inspired message, what I mean is that this is a message that I felt called to share about from my own personal experiences. Okay, so it's not like it's some of it is channeled, but for the most part, it's wisdom from my own lived experience when it's a channeled message. My own experience is put into my channels as well, but my inspired messages are like the bulk of them. The structure of them is my own life experience. So let's get into this. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit longer. I have 3 pages. Well, 2.5. Just a little bit longer. So buckle up, I guess. I will be looking in that direction to read the messages, okay? So, for however long it is for each of you, you have been actively reparenting yourself, interrupting self-criticism, offering compassion, and consistently asking your inner child, how can we change that thought or that feeling? This continuous and diligent work is a testament to your strength and your resilience. You're not just healing your own wounds, you are creating a brand new blueprint for self-love and self-acceptance within yourself. You most likely now speak to yourself in ways that your parents and your siblings would never. And that's a seriously powerful act of defiance and self-empowerment when it comes to your conditioning. When it comes to those that may have used and abused your light, your unique light. Unique light. This work has been about reclaiming your true inner voice and creating a safe inner space for your sensitivity, where you can truly be yourself. And that self-created safety is seen as rebellious in a world that thrives on disempowering and desensitizing the individual in order to further the objectives and the growth of control for the group mind and collective systems. You were conditioned to make yourself small, to accept abuse, to abandon the self for the other, in order to do the work for the other for them, the work of the other for them. You were mostly in childhood, but also adulthood as well. You were programmed with self-deception, self-depreciation especially, and self-betrayal to further this agenda of doing the work of the other for them, carrying the burden, the scapegoat, right? If we want to put it in terms. So it's only sensical that your healing, self-love, and self-sovereignty and created confidence is seen as an act of insubordinate defiance in a world full of traditions characterized by dictatorial and spiritually authoritarian systems, matriarchies, and patriarchies that want you to be who they want you to be, to cater to them, to agree with them. You are not coddling others. Should I say you are no longer catering to others? Because of all of this work that you have done, the strength and resilience you have had in creating this brand new blueprint of self-love, of self-respect, of self-acceptance within yourself. You are catering to and dedicated to yourself, being who you want to be, believing what you believe in. and all in your own time and at your own pace. You are not succeeding any other. You are not forging your own, you are forging your own path through the beat of your heart and your soul's calling and the guidance of your Most High, whatever that may be for you. Those that are not doing this same kind of work that you are doing will see your growth, self-love, and self-assertion especially as a slight, or they will lack understanding of what or how you are expressing yourself on whatever levels. Emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, okay? Many will not have the level of awareness or consciousness to comprehend what true self-sovereignty looks like, what the paradox of self-mastery presents as, and will therefore see you as someone who needs to win or needs to be on top, when you are simply standing in your divine authority and leading yourself in your own life. You answer to yourself and your Most High, and that puts you on top. You don't need to try to do anything to get there, besides follow your own guidance and love yourself. There's not this trying. You do not need to use others to elevate your status. You don't need to act in these ways. You use the nature of relation and projection within the self and the other, of yourself and the other, to further dig within and understand yourself, your light and your shadow. Those that cannot oppress or control you because of this will project their own desire to dominate onto you. And this is sacredly purposeful. Sacredly purposeful. There's a quote by Matt Kahn, which is, people can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves, which I'm sure most of you have heard. Okay. Truly learning about and catering to the depth of yourself and accepting and embracing all of your ins and outs, all of your lightness and shadow, without catering or shrinking to the other, makes you an undeniable force of reflection. And a term that I'm going to coin as sacred irritant. I do not believe it's been coined by anyone at all. And this phrase is perfectly, it's a perfect description of this divine role. Sacred irritant. Now, someone might end up stealing that, but it's whatever it's meant to be. Your influence creates agita deep within others, as though you are an agent of catalyzing deep catharsis of patterns and beliefs that hold others stuck within their own spiritual prison. Okay? Further than the emotional prison or the mental prison or a physical prison, it's a spiritual prison. This is something that happens deep within the subconscious of the other, stirring up irritation that forces them to, in due time, eventually unveil and face uncomfortable truths that would have otherwise laid dormant and rusted or rejected, repressed, and suffocated within themselves. Okay, and when someone gets into closer proximity of your light, the light being authenticity, truth, love, etc. Okay. Once your light angles, when they get into closer proximity of your internals, your light angles into their shadows, and their demons are like, ah! We all have inner demons, right? And they're all going to react the same way when they are illuminated. It's going to cause egoic reactions whenever they are illuminated. you, in your embodiment of your personal authenticity, just happens to awaken those inner demons in others through exposure by proxy of the light, of the authenticity, the truth, the love. So they start throwing things out at you. They're like, get away! Get out of here! No one wants light in their shadows, in their darkness. It's comfy there, right? So they shun you. But the illumination becomes grating, and their ego unconsciously comes to the defense of the comfortable shadow. It's like they're throwing stones and rocks into the sun, but light is all pervasive. It's not going to just disappear, right? The only way, and I'm speaking all of this again from pure experience, the only way to heal the discomfort is to face the light and allow it to reveal what needs to be truly thrown out. Not rocks or stones, but the inner demons that are hissing at the light in the first place. Right? Your essence isn't comfortable, but growth is not comfortable. People may experience growing pains in your presence or in association with your energetic influence. And as much as they may seethe about you for it, in the end, they cannot deny the transformative effect that you have had on their lives. Your sacred irritant initiates in the other a journey into deeper transformation, belief, and understanding of their beliefs, faiths, intentions, and passions. And this dynamic reveals that the people that interpret your healing, growth, and especially self-empowerment as a slight or as selfish are those genuinely threatened by your willingness and your ability to embrace your own power and delve the depths of your shadow and integrate the depths of your shadow in order to liberate yourself from the shackles of the third density on this planet. Okay, the lower chakras. Their criticisms stand as pure projections of their own ingrained and conditioned insecurities, shame, judgments, and limitations, their own inability, misunderstanding, or unwillingness to advance beyond the carnal nature. Sexuality aside, but also included. Okay, unwillingness to advance beyond the carnal nature of the ego and its interests. And you, being an empathic and compassionate person, may once have internalized those projections and allowed them to become part of your inner landscape for quite some time. You may have undergone a dark night of the soul, or few, where you fought through shame and guilt that was ingrained within you, conditioned, programmed within you. That was not necessarily yours to take on, where you grappled with the reality of who you truly are and to what level or what extent others' projections truly resonated. Relation, right? Relation through the polarity. This is relation and introspection based off not only your own light and shadow, but the light and the shadow of others. We are all one, and to fully understand yourself, you have to also be open to the light and the shadow of others and be willing to process your own with the extension of the other. It has to be, it has to be dual. It has to balance, right? And so this place where you grappled with the reality and tried and you integrated on what level others' projections truly resonated. This allowed you to become very proficient in the interpretation and the languages, the understanding of the languages of your own shadow and the shadow of the other. You have you have a vast amount of knowledge, wisdom, experience with the shadow and of the self and of the other. Okay, through working out and through working out your own kinks and knots here, you are able to release the tension of burdens and projections placed upon you by those that are not only threatened by your lightness, but those that unconsciously felt it justified to place their own wounds on your shoulders for you to work through their personal damage and their triggers for them. And this is a process that is built up by the traditions of, again, the traditions of dictatorial and a spiritually authoritarian systems, matriarchies, patriarchies, constitutions, etc. Okay? But you've dismantled that now. You've moved from this phase of life. And it is a continuous life process of maintenance. It's something you have to do. You've moved out of this, you've shifted out of that identity where you identified with the scapegoat. Or they say the wounded healer, the wounded warrior, etc., etc. It's expanding beyond the label of being oppressed, of being small, of being victimized. Even, as I like to say, even when you are literally a victim of something, you can choose to not be a victim. It's all about perspective. It's all about your tunnel of vision. It's all about the way that you perceive yourself and how you stand within yourself, what you truly embody. Do you truly want to embody the victim, or do you want to embody your own self-authority? These may be, people that are threatened by your self-authority, your self-sovereignty, are likely those that are stuck within a victim mentality or a identity of victimization, of wounding, of unconsciously attached to that which has been done to them, whether through childhood, teenage years, adulthood, through family, friends, lovers, business partner, whatever it might be, okay? But you have dismantled this. You have moved out of this. You have shifted from that narrative, from that identity. You are actively excising those harmful beliefs and unnecessary burdens and replacing them with messages of self-love and self-worth. You're reclaiming your narrative is what you are doing. You are rewriting your story. You're no longer aligned with the conditions, the programming of these traditions in these systems, these matriarchies, these patriarchies. Okay, you have, what was the word I just heard? Deviated from that path. Maybe it was your path at one point, but at some point it became unbearable. It's like the role that was placed upon you as you developed as a human, the role became a sacred irritant for you. And you chose to shift out of this role. And that's not without hard work. That takes years of hard work, of deep inner excavating, I'll say. You're refining your internal guidance system And being sure that it does not include the projections of those threatened by your personal journey. That it doesn't include the projections of those threatened by your divinely guided individual elevation. Again, those that are working for the agenda of and the objectives of the desire for growth, or just in general for the growth of control in the group mind, in the collective system, instead of the individuation, they're going to be threatened by this because they have not deviated, they have not separated themselves from group mind, they have not separated themselves from, they have not created their own, they have not realized, not created, created comes next, they have not even realized their own separation. It's a lack of acceptance of separation. We're all one. We're all one. Everything is connected, but we are separate within the whole. Right? Yeah, these are the people and systems that you are no longer accepting the projections of. Your internal guidance system no longer contains these voices, these opinions, etc. And you need to know that your self-care practices, the self-hugs, gentle words of affirmation, healthy meals, journaling, movement, meditation, indulging in nature, artistic practices, good music, just resting in silence, whatever it is for you, etc., etc. All of these they're all acts of self-compassion. These are all ways of nourishing your own soul and deeply reminding yourself, energetically and emotionally reminding yourself that you deserve to be treated with kindness, compassion, and respect. That you innately deserve support and understanding. That you deserve rest and recuperation. That you are worthy and enough just as you are. You've recognized and integrated the innate fact that your worth is not dependent on external validations or approvals or guidances. You wholly understand that your accomplishments are valid, regardless of whether or not others acknowledge them, or agree with them, or approve of them. You have created life in your own way. And you are in the knowing now that you have every damn right to be proud of yourself, of what you have done, and where you have gotten yourself to, even if no one else is, or even if the people you believe should be proud of you are not. You've done a remarkable amount of work on yourself, collective. You have faced your demons, challenged your beliefs, and emerged stronger and more resilient than ever before in this self-authority and this self-sovereignty. And it is going to be threatening to some, but as well, simultaneously, equally, you are a beacon of light to others, for yourself and for the other, right? If I were you, which I am, in part, I would allow yourself to fully bask in that realization that you are a beacon of light for yourself and others. You no longer need to play small. You have shifted out of this. You do not need to hold your tongue. You do not need to play small. You do not need to depreciate yourself or disrespect yourself to be used as a beast of burden. That's not your role anymore. Maybe at one point it was, because it was conditioned and programmed into you, but it no longer is. It's kaput. It's done. So I would allow yourself to fully bask in the realization of who you truly are and the light, the healing that you truly exude to others. And just because you are a sacred irritant, just because there are many that are going to be completely discomforted by by your authenticity, by the truth you speak, by the love you share, that does not diminish your role. That does not make you bad. That does not make you that does not make you a social pariah. Okay? It's going to cause you to be seen as unorthodox, nonconformal, as a deviant, right? But it's just because you have broken out of a system, a tradition that is based in dictatorial and spiritually authoritarian beliefs, controls, matrices. Okay? The realization that you are not only a healing force, but a guiding light to those that take on a similar journey, similar journeys within their own lives. You should bask in that realization. I believe you should celebrate your progress and acknowledge the incredible journey that you have been on thus far, and where you find yourself now because of that journey that you took on. However long ago that may have been for you. And you should know that it is safe. It is safe to trust that you have everything that you need to continue growing and evolving into the person that you are meant to be, into the leader or teacher or etc., that you are meant to be. Okay? It is now safe to unravel. Ooh, I got like nervous system relief there. It is now safe to unravel because you have made it safe. You made it safe through your radical self-love, through your self-assertion, through the work that you have done to become self-sovereign in your own self-authority. It's not selfish. It's not bad. It's not a slight to anyone that has not done the same. It is your divine right. And the influence of that divine right is your divine role. A sacred irritant. An agent of catalyzation for purging and catharsis. You set light to the shadow. And nothing else is relevant with that inner power that is now coursing through you. Nothing else is relevant besides that safety. Nothing else is relevant besides that self-belief. Okay? Stand strong in that. Stand firm in that. You have done the work. You have done your work. I felt like I needed to make that clear. You have done your work. And there's lots of other people's work that you've done as well. But in the structure of things, you have done your work. And that's what matters. You've shown up for yourself consistently and with vigor. And that right there is a victory within itself. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate yourself. Continue to maintain your liberation from the systems that are crumbling. You are a leader on the front. You are a leader on the frontier of the new earth paradigm, of the changing of times. Embrace that. Revel in that. Bask in the understanding, the recognition of yourself and of the fact that you are a beacon of light for others to find their own authenticity, self-empowerment, and self-sovereignty. You are a guiding light. Bask in that. Okay. I think I'm going to grab a Rainbow Warrior activation. Yes, we're going to do that. Spirit, what do we have to close out this message? Rainbow Warrior activation. What do we have to close out this message? What do we have to close out this message, Spirit? There we go. Ooh, beautiful. Is this the portal card? Ooh. We have number 43. And we have number 26. I kind of want to get one more. One more. For co-creation with Spirit. One more, Spirit. To close out this beautiful message. Your radical self-love and authority is seen as insubordinate defiance. Oh, that's so cool. I was like 3 for... I was like, I want to get a third card. Because I wanted the number 3 for co-creation with Spirit. And we got card number 3. Okay. Number 26. Healing field. Ooh. Relaxation, epigenome, honesty, resonance, healing, space, and balance. Research has proven that when we're feeling relaxed, secure, and comfortable, our DNA is relaxed too. Relaxed DNA will find ways to heal itself or adapt and change to cause health. On an energy level, we call this the healing field. It is the energetic signature we can focus on to create a balancing of our mind, body, and spirit. That is what you put your focus into for as long as you have to get to this point. In the physical body, it is the role of the epigenome that causes the necessary transformations. Make no mistake about it, healing requires change on every level. And that is what you have had to do in order to break out of these domineering systems of the Matrix. In fact, by the time we experience disease in the physical realm, we've been struggling with imbalance in all of the other dimensions for quite some time. The good news here is that any change on any plane of existence will ignite the healing process for all of them. Okay, and that's that maintenance as well, is maintaining the healing on each level. And it's through continuous change, continuous growth. Because when you back yourself up, that's when you cause dis-ease, discomfort. That's when those inner demons are throwing rocks and stones, right? We have card number 43, which is the solar plexus. This is that self-authority. This is that self-sovereignty, okay? Power, presentation, position, concoct, implementation, fabricate, presence. Nothing is more valuable in terms of human interaction than first impressions, or how you present your position, your self-sovereignty, your self-assertion. Regardless of its truth, others will remember what you say about yourself. They'll remember your disposition or the confidence of your actions, even if you don't believe in them. This is a basic principle of successful marketing. Ultimately, your goal is to be authentic in how you present yourself, matching how you feel to the impression you give. This is what you have stepped into. You are no longer downplaying, minimizing, or depreciating your authenticity. It shines brightly and boldly. The solar plexus of the body is the center where you process emotion. It's from here you stake a claim to your place in the real world. Okay, there was a lot of emotional release that you had to put yourself into, that you had to allow yourself. We have the healing and the solar plexus here. Again, you are an agent for you are an agent of catalyzation for the catharsis for others. You cause healing through stirring up the emotions through your presence with the solar plexus. That is your influence. That is your personal role in your personal authority. Our emotions transmit our deepest expression. So when you're going through any kind of transition, purifying on any level will greatly improve your condition. You cause others to purify themselves, and it's through great discomfort. That's that sacred irritant. You cause others to purge into catharsis. Deeply uncomfortable. It's not an easy role. Not an easy role to take on. Again, because there are many others that will seethe about you over it. But it's not you. It's not literally you. It's the light within you. It's it's the divine role that you have stepped into. It's the divinity within you that causes this. It's the light that causes this. And it's not even that causes them. It's what causes their shadow. Their inner demons. Their unconscious. To cast stones and throw rocks. Okay? And we have number 3. Thoughts. Oh, this is the air card, by the way. Thoughts, communion, necessity, willfulness, charisma, demeanor. Your willfulness. Air is our presence that is active at all times. There's that presence again, right? You have this, again, you are an undeniable force of reflection. Where was that one at? Where was that part at? Yes, here it is. Okay, truly learning about and catering to the depth of yourself and accepting and embracing all of your ins and outs, all of your lights and shadows, without catering or shrinking to the other, makes you an undeniable force of reflection and makes you this sacred irritant. Air is our presence that is active at all times. It transmits to anyone we come in contact with and is all-pervasive. You are an all-pervasive reflection. You get under people's skin. Your light does. Your truth, your authenticity, your self-assertion is all-pervasive, complete, and necessary. It is mandatory for life, but absent of feeling. So air also represents our mental faculties, our thoughts and ideology. When air arrives in your cards, you're being asked to break down your situation to its most basic properties. That is what your presence does. Like I had said, in due time, eventually causes others to be forced to face deep, uncomfortable truths, whether from their light or from their shadow. What do you need and why? Most of all, what message is it sending to others with whom you come in contact? Are you naturally enlisting the support or the repulsion of others? You might do either. For those that are doing the same work, or for those that are aligned with your path, or for those that are that have taken on similar journeys to that which you have to get to this point, there will be support. When there is a lack of understanding or a lack of doing that work, there will be repulsion. Allow yourself to become aware of your ever-flowing thoughts and recognize they're as powerful and valuable as air. Okay, this is going to be part of the maintenance in this new phase of your life. It is building the confidence. It is building upon that self-authority, your role in your self-sovereignty, the seat at which you sit in your own emotions. This is emotional intelligence. Okay, again, the understanding the interpretation and understanding of the languages in which your light and your shadow speak. Okay, you are proficient in this. And that causes catharsis within others. Deeply uncomfortable catharsis, but nonetheless, catharsis. You are not an insubordinate deviant. You are practicing, have practiced radical self-love that has guided you into, that has brought you into your divine role of self-sovereignty, to be your own self-authority. And that is where I will leave this message. I hope that it found everyone that it was meant for, and I hope it found you in a very open and receptive state. If this did resonate with you, be sure to leave a like and comment if you feel drawn. If you'd like to see more videos from me or receive more messages from me, do not be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Okay, and until next time, guys, much love. Bye.